rare and balanced view on politics in today's world. Based on facts, born of rationality, common sense, and logic, providing context on today's events. This is American Perspective with Rick Thomas.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to American Perspective. I am your host, Rick. It seems my intro music is now being associated to margaritas. So if you hear my music coming on the TV, the radio, your mobile device, whatever it is, yep, better get a margarita in your hand. Yeah, my whiskey warrior P1s are, well, they are a fantastic bunch of people. A fantastic bunch of people. And so, all I got to say is, if you haven't already, head on over to rumble.com, get yourself an account. It is free. And once you are signed up and signed in, make sure you hit that green follow button on my channel. That's right. Oh yeah, I can't forget our Australian contingent. It's time for when Becky hears my music come on, it's time to get up down there in the down under land. Becky works nights, for those that don't know. Anyway. All right. Yeah, I can't forget that pilled.net is out there as well. So, yeah, well, you know, I was reading a story this morning, and I'm a little disappointed. Not that it really surprises me any, because let's face it, this guy, and when I get to him, I'll tell you, this guy has been kind of anti-Trump for quite some time, as most of Hollywood is, because Hollywood is full of people who are literally very stupid. They act. Hey, they can show emotion really well. They can chameleon-like change into different characters or whatever, you know. But one thing that I can definitely tell you is that people who lie often and, you know, can lie with authority, well, they basically are literally complete morons because, I mean, let's just face it, they have challenges with truth, honesty, etc. Anyway, we'll get to him in just a little bit, but first let's go ahead and kick things off appropriately with the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight is JMBSL. That's right, JMBSL is the username over on Rumble. So let's hear it for JMBSL. So if you are of mind, please stand. Remove your hat if you're wearing one, like me. Place your hand over your heart and follow along with JMBSL as she recites the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America.
That's right. God bless America. And I thank you, JMBSL, for that wonderful rendition of the pledge. If you would like to hear your rendition of the pledge played here on the program, all you need to do is record yourself reciting or performing the pledge in your style. Take that audio file, video file, whatever kind of file, and attach it to an email. Send it off to me. Send it to fans, F-A-N-S, at AmericanPerspective.online. That's fans, F-A-N-S, at AmericanPerspective.online. And I will get you into the rotation. I have 25 of these. I'd like to get 26 by the end of 2026. Just got one more to go. If you haven't done yours yet, please do so soon. And if you use your phone to record it, if you use your phone to record it, utilize the share option, not the sunny option, but the share option. Yeah, I've had plenty of the sunny option here recently in terms of the weather. The share option, that's the SHARE option, which you would then get presented with the ability to send it to fans, FANS, at AmericanPerspective.online. And once I receive it, I will get you into the rotation as quickly as possible. And there you go. All right, let's talk about tonight's headline sponsor. I'm wearing one of their performance shirts. It says America down the side here, has a picture of the Constitution of the United States. You know, we the people. Has a big old eagle on it, too. And you can see, there it is. There's the eagle head just behind the microphone. Anyway, and they are called theflagshirt.com. That's right, theflagshirt.com is where you can go and pick up, there it is where you can go and pick up this shirt plus some of the other ones I personally like. I mean, the only time I ever wear these performance shirts is when it gets too hot around here. But if you head on over to theflagshirt.com, you can check out all of their men's, women's, kids, made in the USA, their patriotic accessories. They still have, I believe, America's 250 collection still up there. Let's see. Yep, they still have it there. And if you order $75 or more of their product, they will provide you with free shipping. That's right. $75 or more of their product will provide you with free shipping. They've got some summer bestsellers right here. They've got all kinds of accessories, too. Hats, glasses, all kinds of stuff in the fantastic red, white, and blue. It's run by a veteran, owned by a veteran. So maybe you want to support veterans. Yeah. And they're out of Florida. So that's another option. Yeah, they do well on the shipping, too. I'm telling you, I can order something on a Sunday and it'll arrive by Friday, typically. Don't forget, you can also get gift cards from them. So if you have a patriotic person in your family who you don't know what style they are going to look for, well, get them a gift card. That'll make it easy. Head on over to theflagshirt.com. Check out all of their styles, their wonderful styles. Good quality shirts, too, by the way. Really good quality. They maintain their color and their size and so on and so forth, generally speaking. So head on over to theflagshirt.com and get yourself patriotized. All right. Well, we're going to start off tonight with an embarrassment. Now, I'm going to, I normally don't give leftists a lot of leeway. And realistically, when you write something, for an example, when you post something on a social media outlet, there's these things that your phone does. It's called autocorrect. It's a bit of a help at times and a hindrance at others. And sometimes you can fall into a hindrance by having it autocorrect something that, it really wasn't supposed to autocorrect. Happens all the time to me. I mean, I haven't yet figured out how to find that personal dictionary, I guess is what they call it, where you've misspelled a word and it goes ahead and auto saves it. And then it keeps coming. That same damn word keeps coming back. Well, anyway, I'm going to give her a slight bit of a pass, although I got to admit, if you're a senator, especially an older senator, one that's been around since, the dawn of dirt, because it sure feels that way, you really, really ought to make sure that you autocorrect or check your autocorrect before you post something. This happened. Here it is, Patty Murray. Yeah, one of my do-nothing, horrible senators. All she ever talks about, by the way, just side note, all she ever talks about is abortion and child care. Things that have nothing to do with the Constitution. That the federal government shouldn't even be a part of. I mean, the Dobbs decision. Hello? The Supreme Court said that it was a states' rights issue. Yeah. Where it should have been in the first place. Forget the Roe v. Wade crap, man. Way back in the day, that never should have even hit the Supreme Court, but it did, and we were mistakenly led down the wrong path, kind of like the birthright citizenship thing is. But anyway, she is on the committee, I guess. And, let's be honest. I mean, I get names wrong all the time. My personal thing is I remember your face, not necessarily your name. For some reason, I personally have a hard time remembering names, but not faces. So if I've seen you before, I am more than likely going to remember that I've seen you, probably remember when, where, etc. But I may not remember your name. And that's part of my problem as to why I won't go into politics. But that being said, you can also, be guessed at the wrong name or whatever. But if you're sitting here in front of somebody and you are, let's just say, irritated at them, you would think that that person's name would be a little bit more memorable to you. And I'm using the term irritated in a sort of a facetious way because, Patty Murray isn't a fan of the Ohio Solicitor General by the name of Benjamin Flowers. Benjamin Flowers. Now, he was confirmed on Tuesday in a 49-46 Senate vote to a lifetime seat on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 6th Circuit. Now, Flowers, just to give you kind of a background, once clerked for the late Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, great Supreme Court Justice. And he also has argued 3 cases before the Supreme Court of the United States, including the successful challenge to OSHA's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. The one that Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire joined in on and helped to get taken care of. Yeah. Flowers has also defended Ohio's pro-life laws, which, of course, doesn't sit well with somebody who is pro-abortion, like Patty Murray. Well, she went ahead and took to X. Oh, this tweet is deleted, by the way, now. But she took to X, assuming it was her, because again, remember, she probably either doesn't have time or has some, young millennial typing her crap for her, whatever. Anyway, apparently she posted, she's like, today Senate Republicans gave a lifetime judicial appointment to anti-abortion extremist Brandon Flowers. Well, there's only one problem. Brandon Flowers is not the guy's name, and Brandon Flowers is apparently the lead singer of a band that used to be called The Killers. Anyway, well, this is where Community Notes actually helped out, because Community noted, those community noters, they noted on X that, hey, this is not the guy that you're talking about. You're talking about Benjamin Flowers, not Brandon Flowers. Yeah. Even the Senate Judiciary Republicans got in there. Take a look at that. They put in a picture. Oh, well, take a look at that photo. Oh, it has the name of the person right in front of her. Anyway, the Senate Judiciary Republicans said, well, for those who are confused, Benjamin Flowers on the left is a former Scalia law clerk and state solicitor general. He's highly qualified for the lifetime judgeship, to which he was just confirmed. Brandon Flowers on the right is the lead vocalist for the alt-rock band The Killers. Hope this helps. Anyway. Oh, these these people, I'm telling you. And again, I mean, you know, keep in mind, the easiest thing she could have, which, by the way, for those that don't know, if you have the blue check mark, okay, I'm lucky enough to have it. If you have the blue check mark, you can go back and edit your post. There is that option, which Senator Patty Murray has the blue check and could have fixed it. Anyway. All right, well, for those of you who are fans of Reacher, and I'm talking the TV show, not the movie. The movies are Tom Cruise. The TV show is done by an actor named Alan Ritchson. Now, Alan Ritchson, I got to be honest, based on what I've heard, I've never read the Reacher books, but based on what I've heard, is a lot closer to the physical description that the author of the books actually created for the Reacher character. Well, Alan Ritchson, look, he's a big guy. I get it. You know, he's been in a couple of other movies. He did a movie on Netflix called War Machine. It was actually pretty good. I watched it myself. He's a I would say a you know, better than average actor. But here's the problem with you better than average actors. You need to keep your mouth shut on things that you don't know about. You want to talk to me about your upcoming movie? Great. You want to talk to me about how to act or how to get into acting or whatever? I'm cool with that too. Okay? But when you go on to a podcast or any public appearance and start spouting off a whole bunch of untruths, flat out lies, and defamatory characteristics, yeah, buddy, I'm losing all respect for your ass. Now, look, I am now considered a public figure because I put myself out in the public every single day. And you all come, generally speaking, who have been here multiple times throughout my transformation as I've grown into this particular thing. You know, you all come every day to listen to me speak, and I am not necessarily professing to be an expert on a lot of things. However, I know a lot of stuff about a lot of things, and therefore, I do have opinions. Generally, they are all well-informed opinions on what I talk about. And for that, I mean, I'm certainly not going to sit here and try and tell you who to vote for necessarily, other than the fact that when in doubt, vote Republican. And that's been my mantra for years, because the Republicans generally tend to be less crazy than anyone else. Yeah, I drink whiskey and I know things. That's right. Yeah, whiskey goes in, wisdom comes out. Yeah, there's that one too. Anyway, the point being here is that Alan Ritchson went on a podcast and he was asked about things like the Epstein files, and well, it crashed and burned. Here, let's take a listen to it.
People, I think, are a little bit afraid of me because they're like, he's a loose cannon. And I'm not. I'm just saying the shit that everybody should say if they give a shit about humanity. Everybody else should feel like I feel.
The world is on fire.
The world, yeah, like, oh, mad about the way things are and the abuses that are happening. The Epstein files? The fucking Epstein files! God damn it! Where are they? It's a fucking law, bitch. Show it. You fucking pedophiles. I shouldn't say fuck because I'm a Christian and people are going to go like, how can he say fuck and he's a Christian? Because that is something that should make you want to say fuck. Yeah. You know, sorry, God, I'm sweating now. This is my fucking politics, dude. I would fucking railroad these fuckers. I would get those Epstein files out in 2 seconds. Yeah, dude, 2 seconds, fucking move out of the way. Like, get out of there. I don't care what room they're in, bitch, move. Like, give me the fucking manila envelope. I will get you the Epstein files. Sorry.
You got my vote. Whatever you want to run for, you got it.
Don't you want to see what's in there so that we can hold people accountable? These fucking rapists? We're just cool with it? That bitch has the keys to the nuclear. He's like all up into 13-year-olds. Like, dude, what? Go to jail. Go to jail. All right, what are we talking about?
Yeah, what are we talking about? I mean, seriously, Alan, buddy, Alan. You just accused the president of being a rapist and being a pedophile, which, if you have proof, sir, bring it. Bring it forward. Folks, the Epstein files are a big nothing burger. They have always been a big nothing burger. They are a sensational methodology for the left, in particular, the Democrats in particular, some people like Tom Massey on the right in particular, as well as a few other conspiratorial service idiots that are out there. We know pretty much everything that's in the Epstein files. Okay? Outside of the actual photos and video of the actual victims being victimized, generally speaking, we have everything. We have everything. There's really not that much that has not been put out there, and none of it, not even the victims themselves, indicate Trump. Now, he obviously didn't name Trump in this. I mean, he averted it or skirted it by saying the guy's got the nuclear codes, okay? But what the hell is wrong with you, dude? What happened to proof? What happened to, yeah, where is, I mean, this has been going on since, long before Trump even became a national figure. And in fact, well, I take that back, became a political national figure. Okay, because we have to, Trump has been a national figure for like decades. I mean, he's been on the Oprah show. Where's your proof, man? Where is your proof? You want to accuse somebody of something. You want to slander them. You want to libel them. You want to defame them. Where is your proof? Bring it forward. I'm sure that there are plenty of people, plenty of lawyers who would love, especially in on the prosecution side, who would love to bring this forward. I mean, they had to, in order to even get something, which wasn't anything, to stick, they had to revamp a New York law for one specific case, bring that one specific case forward, and then suppress evidence and testimony and all kinds of stuff during the trial in order to get him on a civil trial, not even a criminal trial, but a civil trial. Now, for those that don't know, civil trials have a much lower bar. All you have to do is throw so much supposed evidence. It could be circumstantial. It could be hearsay. It could be all kinds of crap. Just throw it all in there. And and this is the standard, I'm quoting it, by the mere preponderance of the evidence, you can be found liable for whatever it is. It's not the same in a criminal trial, and that's part of the reason why they did what they did for that particular case. But dude, seriously, if you're going to go on a podcast or any kind of public space, man, bring the evidence. And you're not. You didn't bring the evidence. You're just repeating, regurgitating, puking up leftist talking points for this. Yeah. Anyway. Now this guy, this guy is just, I'm not, I like the Reacher programs. I think the character development was, in my mind, spectacular. They had, pretty good storylines, things of that nature. I'm not going to watch season 4 or whatever it's coming out. I've seen all 3 seasons, and like I said, I even watched the movie War Machine, all on Netflix. Everything is on Netflix. I'm sorry, but you do that kind of crap, and you're done. Here's another reason, or here's another example. John Leguizamo. Now, I'm not exactly a John Leguizamo fan, but let me tell you, when you follow, what's that guy's name? I'm trying to think of his name. The guy that is, he's a well-known actor. It's not Al Pacino. It's the other guy. God, both in the same. I can see his face. See, I told you I can see his face, but I can't take his name. Anyway, that dude, John Leguizamo decided to say, hey, and he posted this on his public figure. These people don't seem to get it. Yes, thank you. Robert De Niro. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I told you I got the smartest listening audience in the world here. In the ethosphere. They're both saying De Niro, so thank you. Yeah, Robert De Niro. He's a dumbass as well. But when you're in the public space and you have an audience, okay, especially when you're making, millions and millions of dollars off that audience, it kind of doesn't seem like you really should be, cutting the throat of the beast that feeds you. And yes, I am talking about the general public as a beast. Now, John Leguizamo showed up in this new movie called The Odyssey. Okay? The Odyssey, which, by the way, I think it's directed by Christopher Nolan. The Odyssey movie doesn't stick with the actual book. It was adapted from the book. It was adapted from the book. And it wasn't even strict to the book. And, not that I'm really going to go running around to go watch The Odyssey, because I'll be honest with you, I'm really not all that interested in seeing Ellen Page as Elliot in the movie. And, John Leguizamo, who now is sitting here, saying to everybody, hey, if you support ICE, don't watch my movies. Don't come to my shows. And I seem to recall there was a person, can't remember what her name is either. That's how memorable she is. She looks like a clown now with all of the work that she had put in on her face, but she was a redhead who was holding up, Trump's head in a severed head, Yeah, that comedian. Yeah. Anyway, she's no longer around. If you work in the public and again, I'm sitting here and I'm saying all of these things because I'm not that stupid. Yes, Kathy. That's right. Kathy, whatever her name is. Anyway. Thank you. But see, this is an area that I probably shouldn't be in because I don't know where all of these people come from. But, there's I try and avoid. I do. I use entertainment as an escape. I use sports as an escape. Yes, Kathy Griffin. Thank you. I use sports as an escape and entertainment as an escape. I don't sit here and like track all of the stars and everything else. But when I run across stars that are, good people on top of it, people like Neil McDonough, okay, Keanu Reeves. Tommy Lee Jones is another one. Denzel Washington, as an example. When I run across those people, I tend to be able to stick and hang on to their names. Okay? Because they are actually decent people. John Candy was a really decent person. I don't have to agree with them politically. I really don't. But there's no reason why these idiots should go out and post on these, out in public and say, hey, if you don't like this, all the singers are the same way. Oh, if you don't like whatever politic crap is going on, don't come to my shows. look, you're paid to entertain, okay? You make your money by, and this is going to sound really bad, but dancing like a freaking wind-up monkey. You're entertaining people. Bring that kind of energy into the space and get rid of all the rest. What you talk about or what you think or how you think or who you vote for doesn't even matter. It really doesn't. Because nobody that I'm aware of, and Taylor Swift kind of found this out, nobody I'm aware of makes their political decisions based on the fact that Taylor Swift or whoever else, is going to vote for whatever. I mean, look at Kamala Harris. How many freaking stars did she have? How many concerts did she have thrown, to the tune of 20 billion gazillion dollars or whatever, that she was in the hole because these free concerts came in? Yeah. None of these people. I mean, seriously, it's just like, come on, give me a break. Just entertain me, okay? I want an escape from reality, which means I want to escape from the very thing that you are trying to bring in. This is what Hollywood doesn't seem to understand, because Hollywood seems to want to remake everything that has all been good and conservative leaning in the world, the actual true world, not the fantasy crap that the left wants to bring. And Hollywood seems to think that they can change culture by pushing all of that other leftist BS. And they've been finding, time and time again, generally speaking, and the most perfect example here is this. Top Gun. The first Top Gun movie, okay, was not originally designed to be a, advertisement for the Navy. But the Navy benefited off of it, okay? Top Gun Maverick, 30 years later, in the midst of COVID, in the midst of all of this leftist crap, Top Gun Maverick gets shown in the theaters and outperforms everything that had been released up until that point. In fact, some people could even go so far as to say it singularly saved the theaters. Okay? I'm just saying, I don't care what Tom Cruise's, politics are. He doesn't bring them into his movies. Now, he's got some strange things on religion and stuff like that, but again, he doesn't like, I don't know, he doesn't necessarily advertise it. He just sort of does it in his own personal life. And I'm okay with that, because you can be something different in your personal life than what you show out on screen. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. And I have no issue with that. But God dang, people, remember who who makes your money. It's all of those people. And in the case of things like Reacher and War Machine, and I just want to point this out, they are conservative driven movies. They are not, generally speaking, the type of movie or show that would necessarily be driven by the leftist LGBTQ plus minus divided sign, percent sign, ampersand kind of show. It's not something that those folks are going to get into. And so by sitting here and saying this kind of stuff about a guy, I mean, disagree with Trump. That's fine. Disagree with Trump. I'm okay with that, because not everybody is going to like Trump. I personally don't like Trump on a personal level, but I don't necessarily get tied up into the idea that my politicians have to be like perfect little angels. They're not. Believe me, there's not one of us here that is a perfect little angel. Anyway, this guy, I'm just telling you, he lost a fan. I was kind of a fan of him for a while. Not anymore. Now, granted, this isn't the first time that he's done this. I mean, he did do another like podcast or something in April of 2024, and he kind of went nuts on that one too. But, yeah. Anyway. Well, speaking of those who have lost their minds, and by the way, he was the one, Alan Richson was the one that I was thinking of when I said a moron was born every second. Because as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, well, there goes another moron. Anyway, speaking of morons, here's another moron. You know, Candace Owens jumped off the deep end a long time ago. And I really don't understand that. I mean, but whatever. She now, let's see, who is she blamed? She's blamed Israel for the death of Charlie Kirk. She's blamed, I can't even think of how many she's been talking about having all of this evidence about Charlie Kirk and the Charlie Kirk murder. She's blamed Erica Kirk. She's blamed, I don't know, like shadow monsters. I have no idea because I'm not a follower of Candace Owens. But apparently now, because of the fact that Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk, by the way, had a friendly relationship, okay, and their security crews, because both men were high-profile folks who needed protection, their security crews apparently had some sort of a connection. Maybe they came from the same organization. Maybe the leader of Ben's security team was a former teammate in the military of, Charlie Kirk's security team. Who the hell knows? We don't even know what the connection is. Who gives a crap? Okay? Who gives a crap? But now, apparently, Candace Owens is attempting to tie Ben Shapiro to the murder of Charlie Kirk. So I got to preface this. So she's on her podcast, okay? And obviously Ben Shapiro talked about this today, but she's on her podcast. And she's sitting here saying, on the morning that Charlie Kirk died, Ben Shapiro claims that he was out having breakfast or lunch with somebody. Apparently she doesn't understand, time differential anyway. And she's like, who was this person? I'm offering $10,000 to identify who Ben Shapiro was out having breakfast or lunch or having a meal with at the time that Charlie Kirk was shot. As if any of this has anything to do with Charlie Kirk's murder. Okay. Whatever whatever floats your boat, sweetheart. But, yeah, I'm sorry. I can't hold it in. Oh my God. Apparently somebody took her up on it, and well, here's Ben Shapiro's thoughts about it today with regards to it. Take a listen.
The person that Ben was with has allegedly told various other people that he was with Ben when Charlie Kirk was shot. And that person is a man named Gary Javich. So Gary Javich is not a person that you have likely ever heard of unless you are Jewish and involved in the community, but he is certainly very well known, actually very powerful.
Who? If it was Gary Javich who called this in to pick up a $10,000 reward from Candace Owens, then Candace, I'm sorry to inform you, you have been scammed. In fact, every time Candace issues a guess as to who I was lunching with and is wrong, I'm going to donate 10 grand toward the education of Charlie Kirk's children. So now I owe her go send me 10 grand. I have a feeling by the end of this, she's going to impoverish me.
But the person that Ben was with has allegedly...
Now, I'm going to ask a question. I just simply am going to ask a question. What the hell is the correlation between who Ben was with at the moment that Charlie Kirk was shot? What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? I'm just asking. You know what's really sad, though, is that there are millions of people who are following her. There are millions of people who follow her podcast and think that, oh, my God, Ben Shapiro had lunch with some unnamed person at the time that Charlie Kirk was shot. You know, I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. That's it. Well, I have a question. Candace, what mental hospital did you escape from, and where is your medication, and when are you going to take it again? Because I'm just asking questions. Just asking questions. That's it. Yeah. Apparently she's now saying that this guy who Ben admits he's never heard of, apparently is Ben's alibi. What? Ben's alibi for what? What the hell would Ben have anything to do with murdering Charlie Kirk? Well, Ben now has been attacked again by another man. Yes. Another one of the idiot crowd. You know what's sad about this is that Candace Owens, I actually used to think that Candace Owens was onto something, that she was, you know, a staunch conservative. And boy, I got suckered in, so everybody can get suckered in, I guess. So I can't necessarily blame the morons that are sitting here, but yeah, she, you know, when she was on the Daily Wire, I watched a few of her shows, and I thought she was okay. I was like, hey, you know, all right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And then you have people like Tucker Carlson. A lot of people followed Tucker Carlson because he happened to be on Fox News. Well, I didn't watch him because honestly, I can't stand his voice. But now he's even gotten, like, farther out there. Like, farther out there. Way farther out there. Apparently, according to his ex-post, Tucker Carlson's ex-post, Ben Shapiro's got some sort of a connection to Donald Trump and is the puppet master for Donald Trump. Here. You think I'm lying? I'm not. I really, I mean, it's right here. Now, you can read through the whole damn thing. I mean, this is still on X. I just found it like 2 seconds ago. But in the meantime, Trump will likely obey Ben Shapiro, as he has consistently for months. Okay. I have another question. Yeah, I'm just asking questions here. I have a question. If Ben Shapiro controls Trump and Trump will obey Ben Shapiro, then Trump should be taking out Karg Island, destroying literally all, if not the vast majority of the infrastructure in Iran, you know, sending in ground troops, Marines, God knows what else, going in and just wiping the whole place out, literally, in this. Because that's what Ben has been saying. And now, just to be clear, I agree with Ben. See, the Ayatollahs and the people who are over in Iran, who even the, like, third and fourth tier commanders who have been put into the top tier spot now, all of those people, they have the exact same thing. They have the exact same thing, which is to kill the infidels, kill Americans. That's what they are doing. That's what they want to do. That's why they're doing everything that they can to gain a nuclear weapon. They want to go after Israel. They want to wipe Israel off the map. They want to eventually come to America and get rid of America. I mean, that's what they even tell you that. And by the way, those people who are over there, not everybody, I want to be clear, not everybody, but their main goal is world domination and putting the Muslim faith in, wiping out all Christianity, wiping out all other religions. The Muslim religion is the only religion. The Islam. They want to do this. And they are funding everything that they can. And any time that we, by the way, Biden, Obama, send them money or allow them to sell oil or whatever, that's what they use it for. They don't give a shit about their own people. They don't give a crap about their own people. I can't believe these guys. They are now saying that Ben has more power over Trump than anything else. Because Tucker Carlson is a let's just put it this way, raging anti-Semite, okay? There's just no other way to call it. See, he believes that Israel is in control of everything, and that, the Mossad and all this other stuff. And he went down the rabbit hole of Israel was the one that killed Charlie Kirk. When all available evidence that we have today, all available evidence points to one person and one person only, and that is the individual who was on trial. But no. Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, they can sit there and tell you all kinds of things. Because they have the evidence and they have the proof, and they're just asking questions. But it's interesting that they never produce the evidence. They never produce the proof, and they never answer those questions that they're asking. And the reason is, obviously, it's clickbait. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah. See, that's one place that I will never take this show, because I have actual integrity, ethics, moral standards, etc. Honor. I happen to believe in the value of truth. In fact, if I were a Dungeons and Dragons character, I would be considered lawful good. I can't even break the rules when I want to break them, because my constitution doesn't allow me to. For those of you who don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, who were never born in the 80s, before all of these video games and everything else, go find out about it. Anyway. Well, occasionally we get a person who, tells people exactly what they need to hear. Now, if there is ever anybody on this planet who has what is essentially a position of, I don't care, and nothing can faze me, and essentially has what is known as go F yourself money, that would be Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk is... oh my gosh. Elon Musk is one of those people... Elon Musk is one of those people that, when you get him in an interview, let's just put it this way. If you do something stupid, you're going to get called out on it for sure. Let's take a listen. This guy.
Politics. You don't even live there.
I think of it as the sort of the West collectively.
But do you see why this makes people think that this man who has all this power, he's the world's richest man, he thinks he has a right to influence our politics? It makes people, it's why, we started this conversation saying superlatives. It's why people loathe you. I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But do you understand why? Do you think what you're doing is helpful for Western democracy?
Maybe.
Okay, I got to interrupt this because, I mean, what? He's the world's richest man. He is not the world's most attractive man, at least in my point of view, but I'm another man. He's the world's richest man, he may not be necessarily the smartest. You know, in terms of genius level, he might be, you know, below, say, Albert Einstein. But I got to tell you, this guy does a crap ton for America, for American people. He is an innovator. He is a risk taker. He is not afraid to basically go and, you know, do whatever. Now, he freaking he has a personal life. He's got problems in his personal life too. Okay? He's got problems in his personal life too. And why? When you reach this kind of level, and I'll be honest with you, as far as I'm concerned, what you think of me is truly none of my business. End of story. And also, your opinion of me only matters to me if you are someone who is close to me. Now, all of that being said, I appreciate everybody who comes here. I'm not going to do what frickin' Leguizamo did. I appreciate everybody who comes here. Everybody who comes and watches my show. But at the same time, though, I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass and be like, hey, you know what? I love you because you are here. You love me. Therefore, I need to love you. My show is not for everybody. My show is not for everybody. My politics are not for everybody. My personality is not for everybody. And if you don't like me, you don't have to stay here. I really, it's this is not a big problem to me. I didn't do this show for people's approval. If I get it, that's fantastic. But I didn't do this show for people's approval. I'm not going to sit here and dance, you know, and do like a Candace Owens or a Tucker Carlson and be like, oh, well, I'm just going to make money. No, I'm doing this show because everything that I do here, everything that I talk about, I truly believe in what I'm saying and what I'm talking about and trying to correct the record on things like the creation of this country and things of that nature, and exposing the ludicrousness of the left. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm doing. Because the crescendo for me hit during COVID. There you go. That's the reason why I'm doing this show. That's the reason why I come here every single night and I talk about current events and politics and stuff. You don't have to like it. But regardless of what everybody seems to think, I am in control. And I am not going to sell this show out at any given point in time to anybody who sits here and tells me that, oh, you can't talk about that topic. Yeah, guess what? No, I can. This is my show. This is what I do. So, and, you know, I can disagree with you. You can disagree with me. My only concern or my only request whenever you disagree with me or whatever, and you want to sit here and come at me, well, hey, just bring the receipts. Bring the evidence. Anyway, back to Elon. So this woman's sitting in front of the richest man in the world who basically has, you know, go F you money. And my longtime Whiskey Warrior P1s are over here telling me how it is, actually. Anyway, and she decides to ask the guy or tell the guy, well, you know, there are people who loathe you. And what did he follow up with? Well, I don't care. Here we go. Let's finish this.
Some people do loathe me. And that's probably true. I don't care. But the fact that, as you pointed out, 250 million people follow me is that I think a lot more people actually like me than don't. And I think a lot more people hate you and the media more than you realize.
I think a lot of people hate you and the media more than you realize. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, don't bring somebody on and ask them a question you don't already know the answer to. Let's just put it that way. And, well, he continues, by the way, and he talks about something. He makes a great point on illegal immigration. Here, let's take a listen.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right. In fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
No, I support the normal people.
Okay.
What do you call the far right? Falsely.
You think as the normal person. Okay.
Yes. Literally, you could go back 10 or 15 years, and these policies were completely normal. In fact, one of the tricks that I think is funny. One of the things that's quite funny is to like take a speech from Obama and Hillary, and then go to someone and say, who's sort of on the sort of what I call the lunatic left, and say, what do you think of the speech by Trump? I'm like, oh wow, he's the worst person ever. Actually, that was a speech by Obama, or actually, that was a speech by Hillary.
I agree. No, I agree that the center of gravity in this country has shifted. Certainly, the Democratic Party shifted to the left. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people like Rupert Lowe. I'm talking
right,
about
please.
people.
It's actually just normal people. It's just normal people. It's just normal people. And and here are the principles. And tell me which of these sound terrible. That we should have secure borders. That we should have safe cities. That we should have sensible spending. Which of those three are far right fringe? And I would like to just admonish you and the media for the absurd characterization of the far right. It is false and misleading and nonsense. Please keep this part in.
We'll keep all of this in, but let me.
Don't cut this part.
Now, she continues. She's like, let me push back. Let me push back. Well, he's calling out the truth. He is calling out the truth. He's like, look, you guys are the ones that took off and went far to the left, not me. I wasn't the one that did it. I mean, seriously. I support normal people, he says. Yes. Normal people who want a normal life, who want to be safe, secure within their homes, who want to be able to get up in the morning, go off, do their work, and essentially use liberty to their advantage to enrich their own lives and the lives of the people that they love and care about. What do you think America is all about? That's one of the exact reasons why we were formed. And this is nuts. To sit here and think that the left has taken all of this and essentially pushed it off the deep end. And what he's talking about in terms of Obama and Hillary and even Bill Clinton, even the leftists that are now in Congress that have still been there, like Chuck Schumer and some of these others, they all have jumped on the same bandwagon and been like, hey, you know what? We need to actually have borders. We need to actually control immigration. The left was good with all of that a long time ago, but then they decided to jump off the deep end and go nuts. And they have all of the stupids that follow them. All righty, folks. Yeah, the DSA is scaring me. Yes, it's scaring a lot of people. It's even scaring some of the people in the leftist lunatic party because they're like, oh, wait a minute, maybe we went too far. Anyway. All righty, folks, that is it for me for this evening. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, head on over to rumble.com, get yourself an account. It is free. And once you are signed up and signed in, make sure you search up the American Perspective channel and hit that green follow button to get notified every time that I go live. Also, too, don't forget to head on over to pilled.net. That's pilled.net, and check it out as an alternative place for you to go. And, of course, red pills are good things. Blue pills are, well, not so good things. Before you take off, don't forget to give me a thumbs up thumbs down, or in the case of 3 Chevy, thumbs sideways or maybe at an angle. And a red pill would be a thumb up. Across all my platforms, whether it's X, YouTube, Facebook, or, of course, the aforementioned Rumble and Pilled.net, Pilled.net. We will see you tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific, because we're 1 hour later on Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on American Perspective. Have a great rest of your evening. And good night, everybody.